If we dressed Homo sapiens like us and had them sit at our table, no one would find it strange in appearance. The appearance of Homo sapiens of that day and today has not changed. Homo sapiens multiplied in Africa, and again due to climate conditions and competition, they started to migrate. They spread to Africa. They passed through Suez, reached the Middle East, and from there to Asia. At that time, Central Asia's climate and natural conditions were very suitable for life, and it was perhaps the most plentiful, most comfortable region in the world with the most food. Here, Homo sapiens multiplied, developed, and differentiated. Africa is where Homo sapiens was born, and Central Asia is where they developed and spread to Europe and Asia. During the first great migration of Homo sapiens, some of them, like Homo erectus, followed the coastal route and reached as far as Australia. These are the ancestors of the Aborigines. We do not know whether Homo sapiens and Homo erectus met on this journey, but if they did, events must have developed in favor of Homo sapiens, whose brain was 1/3 larger than Homo erectus. Homo sapiens did not only receive genes from Homo erectus, they also received technology and culture. In other words, they did not start from scratch. Fire, primitive stone tools, knowledge of life, primitive clan organizations, and many other things are the heritage passed from erectus to sapiens. The living conditions of Homo sapiens, who developed and differentiated and formed clans in Central Asia, changed as a result of climate change, and the crowding brought about competition. Climate change and competition together made life difficult. Migrating to distant places became mandatory for some clans. Thirty 35,000 years ago, the Homo sapiens diaspora began. These migrations from Central Asia to the outside would never stop. Europe, Iran, Anatolia, China, all of Asia, America would witness wave after wave of migrations and new Homo sapiens constantly arriving. During the hunting period of Homo sapiens and later during the nomadic period, as will be discussed later, Central Asia or the steppe would overflow like a boiling pot as conditions required. Homo sapiens went to Europe from the north of the Black Sea. They coexisted with Neanderthal man in Europe for a while. But time was working in Homo sapiens' favor. Neanderthals were wiped out from the world within 10,000, 20,000 years. Doomsday had come for Neanderthal man. A group of Homo sapiens crossed to America via the Bering Strait 15,000 years ago. Homo sapiens who migrated to America multiplied here, established original settlements, and developed their own culture. After living in isolation on the American continent for more than 10,000 years, Europeans reached America via the Atlantic Ocean in 1492 AD. Within 300 years of their arrival, European Homo sapiens, or whites, wiped out their American relatives, the Reds, from the face of the earth. Anatolia also got its share of the migration that started 30,000 years ago. Homo sapiens came and settled in Anatolia. We follow the traces of Homo sapiens, who lived in the hunting and gathering period, by looking at the remains that have survived to this day. Cave paintings have an important place among these remains. While cave paintings prove the existence of Homo sapiens on the one hand, they also show the cultural stage reached on the other. Cave paintings found in Africa, Spain, France, and Anatolia report the existence of a culture at a similar level in similar ages. The paintings found in Beldibi caves in Antalya and Palanla caves in Adiyaman are cultural assets that have reached a very advanced and mature level. A depiction of a herd of mountain goats was found in Palanla, Adiyaman, and depictions of a double-horned mountain goat and a human were found in Gevaruk, Hakkari. These first Homo sapiens of Anatolia lived in the caves of Karain, Beldibi, Belbaşı, Okuzini, Kumbucha near Antalya, in the caves of Kadini in Alanya, Kapalin in Isparta, and in the caves of Marachik in Samandar, Hatay. There are also relatively newer settlements in Isparta, Mersin, Burdur, and Gaziantep. Homo sapiens, who were hunters and gatherers, entered Anatolia by some means and continued their lives there. These first settlers, who used tools and weapons made of rough stone, advanced in technology over time and became able to make more useful stone tools. The people of this period, namely the Mesolithic, Middle Stone Age people, who had not yet reached the level of either nomadic or settled society, left evidence that they had lived in Anatolia just like their ancestors. Some of these documents were found in caves around Antalya. In other words, Homo sapiens came to Anatolia during the first days of his great adventure from Central Asia and continued his life there, developing himself. While Homo sapiens was hunting and gathering, the cooperation between dogs and humans began, most likely more than 20,000 years ago. Dogs were the first domesticated animals. Dogs and wolves are very close relatives. Of these, dogs approached humans and became their closest friends, always taking their place by their side. However, wolves, which chose to remain wild, became rivals of humans everywhere. The human-wolf competition has continued almost until today. When dogs became allies with humans during the hunting period, hunting became easier for both parties. Thanks to their incredible ability to smell, dogs found prey, guided humans, chased and tired the prey, and directed the prey to where humans wanted. They warmed humans' beds on cold nights. As humans transitioned from hunting to nomadism, dogs adapted to the situation and transitioned from hunting to herding and guarding. The importance of dogs continued for people who settled down. The guard dog protected their home against thieves and evildoers, and when necessary, entered into conflict with people. The Karsman district of Kars is a very rich region in terms of rock paintings. These paintings skillfully depict the life relationship of people living in Anatolia 10,000 years ago with animals. These paintings, called inscribed rocks and rock paintings, were drawn on two separate rock surfaces. It is seen that the animal bodies drawn with obsidian pencils on volcanic andesite rocks were depicted in a very proportionate and successful way. Undoubtedly, the artists who drew these paintings were definitely hunters themselves. The rock paintings on the rock surface to the east are 2,247 meters above sea level. The paintings have been perfectly preserved in this place where people cannot easily reach, and due to the characteristics of the rock. There are 26 animal paintings on a surface of approximately 4 square meters on this rock. In the past, in the Aras River Valley, covered with forests and groves, in ancient times there were plenty of deer, gazelles, mountain goats, boars, bears, etc. On the rock to the east, gazelles, mountain goats, mountain sheep being chased by a dog towards a trap are depicted in great movement. In a hunting expedition, the catching of animals in a trap with the help of a dog is depicted. Other trap scenes are also seen in the wall paintings in the Kurbanar cave, located 35 kilometers west of this region. Such trap scenes have also been encountered in the Altamira, Pasiag, Marsalis, Font du Gaume, Buxu, Combrals and Pindal caves in Europe. Similar animals, dogs, traps, trees, etc. are depicted in the paintings on the west rock of Chala. The body proportions and details of the paintings are quite good. A gazelle with its spots carefully shown, a gazelle that was immediately understood to have been hunted with an arrow and whose tongue has fallen out of its mouth because it was dead. And deers with striking antlers are among these paintings. There are no human images on either rock. The dog images are quite detailed. We know that dogs have been domesticated in Anatolia since very ancient times. For example, dog skeletons were found in the Chayonu and Menekşe Çatar excavations. A dog relief was found on a pot in the Tepecik Çiftlik excavation, and a dog image was found on a stone vessel in the Halan Çemi excavation. Dog depictions are also found in the rock paintings on the Tirşin Plateau, located 150 kilometers south of Lake Van.